Hello everyone. Here we are going to see the next module of higher order derivatives, and we are going to take such questions which may seem to be difficult. So we will discuss them. Methods will be same as in the earlier module. I have explained you how to differentiate the different functions according to their properties and categories. So here we start. This question I have taken, for example, if y is equal to log of 1 plus cos x, prove that d cube y by dx cube plus d square y by dx square into dy by dx equal to 0. The simple thing which we have to see here, we need to find the values of this third order derivative, second order derivative and first order. Means simply we have to differentiate the given equation one time, two times, then three times, and after that we will put the value. The simple thing we can do with that. Let's see. Then equation number 1. Here we can give the statement differentiating with respect to x. We find that this is a dy by dx, and as soon as we are having this log in the first function, so we will get here 1 upon 1 plus cos x into d by dx of 1 plus cos x by chain rule. Now we will differentiate 1 plus cos x. As you see, 1 becomes 0, constant, completely constant term in first. Then after addition cos x differentiation is minus sin x. So finally we can say this will be minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x. This is the value of dy by dx. Now after this, what you can do, there are two ways, two methods are there. Either you can manipulate this obtained value of dy by dx using trigonometric identities, or otherwise you can use it as it is. But as I know that maximum students prefer to differentiate this directly, so we will do that. Only thing we have to observe here, this is rational form, so we need to apply quotient rule. This is first one. Now we are going to differentiate once again with respect to x. So we get d square y by dx square. Now by quotient rule. Now be careful, as I see that numerator is having minus sign. So we will put minus sign aside. Then apply quotient rule. Sin x, its differentiation will be cos x. Okay, and 1 plus cos x in denominator, this remains as it is. Now we will differentiate after subtraction. We will differentiate here 1 plus cos x. 1 plus cos x already we have done as minus sin x. So yes, we can put the value. It is minus sin x. And this sin x of the numerator, this remains as it is. And in denominator, the square of 1 plus cos x we need to put. First we will simplify this, multiplying cos x in the bracket and this sin x also. Here we get d square y by dx square and minus sign outside as it is. Cos x will multiply in the bracket, we get cos x plus cos square x, and sin x into sin x with minus sign. This will be minus sin square x, but because of this minus we will get plus sin square x. Plus sin square x. And in denominator 1 plus cos x whole square as it is. One thing to be noticed here, and in general I find that students get confused in this whole square and square on these two individually. So 1 plus cos square x is different from 1 plus cos x whole square. Be careful. Okay, so let's come back. Here cos square x plus sin square x, my identity will become 1. So we get the value of d square y by dx square is minus cos x plus 1 upon 1 plus cos x whole square. As soon as I see these two are same, that's why power will be cancelled out. We are left with minus 1 upon 1 plus cos x. I hope this much is understood to you. Now, this is the second order derivative we have obtained. So we write here equation number 2. Now we go ahead to find the third order derivative. Differentiating once again with respect to x. If I do, I will directly find d cube y by dx cube. Now again there are two methods. Either you apply here quotient rule. One will be constant, that's why when you will operate quotient rule, the numerator differentiation will turn 0. Okay. whichever is means convenient to you, that method you can apply. Otherwise, this can be taken as 1 upon x type function. Okay, 1 upon x type function, and then you can do it directly. Or third method, 1 plus cos x, you can apply trigonometric identities, you can simplify. After that, you can differentiate the function obtained. Okay, but as I said, and I always say, that whatever is done and is understood by maximum students, that only I prefer. So here, what I am going to do, here I will use it, I will differentiate it by quotient rule. Okay, 1 upon 1 plus cos x. So minus sign as it is, differentiation of numerator is 1, will turn 0 into denominator 1 plus cos x as it is, minus 1, no change, 1 plus cos x differentiation already we have done, so we will use it directly, minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x, the denominator, this square once again comes out. Okay, here we get, now here we are having this term completely 0, minus sin x into minus 1 will become plus sin x, minus sin is waiting outside, so this will become minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x whole square. We have obtained all the three values required. Equation number 1, 2, 3 express the same thing. Okay, by the way, it was 1. We have to use all these, so we can change these numbers as 2, 3, 4. This can be done as 2, 3, 4. Now 2, 3, 4, these equations will give us the values required of second order, first order and third order. Now we go ahead, LHS. We will take LHS. Right here it is d cube y by dx cube plus d square y by dx square dot dy by dx we need. Now we put all the values, d cube y by dx cube from here, we see it is minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x whole square plus d square y by dx square. Its final value we obtained is minus 1 upon 1 plus cos x into dy by dx. Its value was minus sin x upon 1 plus minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x. Now you can see when you multiply these two, think of it, minus 1 into minus sin will become plus sin. 1 plus cos x into 1 plus cos x is 1 plus cos x whole square. So sin x upon 1 plus cos x whole square. Now you can see one is negative, other term you get positive. Both of them will be cancelled out. We will find here minus sin x upon 1 plus cos x whole square plus sin x 1 plus cos x whole square cancelled out. We get 0 required. This way we have proved the required equation. I hope you have understood. We will take more questions on that. Let's see next. We have taken second question as in parametric form. X is given cos theta, y is given sin cube theta. Then we need to prove y into y dash plus square on y dash is equal to thrice of sin square theta in bracket 5 cos square theta minus 1. Now here this is a equation we need to prove. We can see what is the required thing. It's a first order and second order derivative only. Y is already given, so we can use these values. Let's start. First thing will be to differentiate these. And one point to be noted, here y dash means what? It's a dy by dx always. Whenever y dash is written, this is parametric function. That means dy by dx. This is understood. Y double dash is written, that is d square y by dx square. Be careful, as in parametric function we know that differentiation is possible with respect to theta also. So that's why we must know the meaning of these two. So here we go. First we will write differentiating 1 and 2 with respect to theta. So we will find here from first one dx by d theta, as differentiation of cos theta we will have minus sin theta, and of y dy by d theta we will operate it. So first we have to solve the exponent. Power comes 3 sin and subtraction 1, so square theta into differentiation of the base sin theta. This will be cos theta. Remaining as it is, our requirement is y dash, which we must know is dy by dx will be equal to dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. We do put in the values. 3 sin square theta cos theta, and in denominator dx by d theta, so we put minus sin theta. Cancelled out, we are left with minus 3 sin theta cos theta. Now convenience, what he can do, this sin theta or cos theta by the identity of sin 2 theta can be replaced by sin 2 theta by 2. Okay, so that will become convenient further to differentiate. But here we see that we will move as it is, no change. Why? Because we need some calculation, so I consider we should move ahead as it is. Okay, so here we give it 1, 2, and now this becomes 3. Now this is the value of dy by dx. Don't forget, after this we have to be alert as it is parametric form of function. We need y double dash, which will be d square y by dx square. Don't forget to write this is d by dx of dy by dx. And yes, we know that dy by dx we have obtained in terms of theta. So that's why first of all this is to be written d by d theta of dy by dx into d theta by dx. Suppose this thing you are not getting, in that case you should see the previous lecture of HOD, higher order derivative. In first lecture I have explained how to operate parametric function, second order or third order, so on. Okay, so this way we put the values now. D by d theta we do of dy by dx, which we have obtained as minus 3 sin theta cos theta into d theta by dx. This we will obtain from dx by d theta. It's reciprocal. It comes minus 1 upon sin theta. Now we know that sin and cos in multiplication, so product rule applied. We put minus 3 aside, and in bracket product rule when we do, we see sin theta, its differentiation will be cos theta into cos theta plus, and cos theta, its differentiation in second term will be minus sin theta. So it becomes sin theta into minus sin theta into minus 1 upon sin theta as it is. Now we go ahead to simplify. This cos into cos will turn cos square theta, sin into sin, sin square theta with minus sin. So this can be written as y double dash we have obtained as minus 3 cos square theta minus sin square theta into minus 1 upon sin theta. And finally, minus to minus will be cancelled out. We are left with 3 cos square theta minus sin square theta upon sin theta. Now there may be a question arising in your mind that why am I sticking to cos and sin only, not converting it in cosec? More identities are applicable. Like in the first case I told you, here sin 2 theta identity is applicable, here cos 2 theta identity also is applicable. Why am I not doing so? Because I see the target. I always explain you should see what is to prove. Here we have to bring the answer in terms of sin and cos. So that's why let them be in sin and cos only. Finally we have to convert in them. That's why better we move ahead with those. Okay, if convenient. By the way, here we got the value of a y double dash. Everything is we have got by differentiation. Now we will put the value in LHS to simplify. Nothing special. I see LHS is y double dash plus y dash whole square. We do y, its value is sin cube theta. Put that sin cube theta into y double dash. Recently we obtained thrice cos square theta sin square theta upon sin theta plus square on y dash, the final value obtained minus 3 sin theta cos theta minus 3 sin theta cos theta whole square. Now we do cancellations. Sin to this cube cancels, sin square is left. So this becomes 3 sin square theta cos square theta minus sin square theta plus, here we do the square, so minus becomes plus 9 sin square theta cos square theta. I see that what's common, two terms are there. This is completely first term, that one is second term. From two terms, thrice of sin square theta is common, so we will get thrice sin square theta common inside the bracket. We are left with cos square theta minus sin square theta plus from here as 3 has gone out. So we are left with 3 cos square theta. So we get 3 sin square theta, 4 cos square theta minus sin square theta. Still, we are close to the answer, we are close to the destination. 5 sin square theta we have worked, cos square theta, it is here, it's 5 cos square theta. So now this is a comparison, okay, we should do. Here by comparison I see we need in the bracket only cos square theta, but we are having extra sin square theta. Then it is obvious that sin square theta should be converted in terms of the required function, means cos square theta. We know that by identity sin square theta can be written as what? Thrice sin square theta, 4 cos square theta. This can be written as 1 minus cos square theta. As soon as I open the bracket, I see it's minus 1. This will become plus cos square theta. Added here becomes 5 cos square theta. So finally we can write this is thrice sin square theta, 5 cos square theta minus 1. This is RHS required. Now let me tell you one thing. Here we stick to sin and cos only, that's why easily we are having this calculation. Otherwise, if we had used some identity like cos 2 theta or sin 2 theta, I don't think that easily we would have got this answer. Okay, so it depends on the choice. If you are capable, you do, no problem. I hope this understood. We will go to the next question. Now, as the next question, I have taken a parametric function. X is given a 1 plus cos theta, y is given a theta plus sin theta. We need to prove d square y by dx square is minus 1 upon a at theta equal to pi by 2. Now, let me tell you, by experience I have seen that students may get confused between a and theta, that which one is parameter. Okay. Now, let me tell you how to get it. A you can see is given in the form of a coefficient. Okay. No function is assigned to it. Also, theta is given with sin and cos in both of them. Obviously, this is the function. So that is a part of function. So that's why the variable theta will be parameter here. Now next, also we are given that to put the value of theta as pi by 2. A is constant, that's why we cannot change its value. A will remain as a constant, but theta being variable, we have taken one particular value. At pi by 2 we need to find d square y by dx square. So these things can help us to understand which one is parameter. Okay. By the way, here we go. As usual, differentiating with respect to theta first, both of them. So we find that dx by d theta as a differentiation of 1 plus cos theta. If I do, I see 1 turns 0 cos theta is a minus sin theta. Minus a sin theta is the value of dx by d theta. Similarly, dy by d theta we obtain by differentiation. A being the constant remains as it is. Theta parameter, its differentiation is 1. Sin theta differentiation is cos theta. Now to find dy by dx, obviously we need dy by d theta divided by dx by d theta. As we go ahead, putting the values, a 1 plus cos theta in denominator minus a sin theta. A to a cancel out, we are left with 1 plus cos theta with minus sign upon sin theta. Now, one thing, this is such an expression I have explained in inverse trigonometry chapter, that how to simplify this one. But here I see that we will go ahead as it is, because maximum students will understand that method, I hope. Okay, so here we take, I need d square y by dx square. So to find it, d square y by dx square, this will be d by dx of dy by dx. Whenever it is parametric function, I generally write this form. Okay, and I do my best to write in all the forms. Reason, because in parametric we will be alert that we need to put the value of dy by dx first. Okay, in direct differentiation, person can get confused and can directly differentiate this theta, the value of dy by dx in terms of theta with respect to x. So that will be completely wrong. Okay. So what we do? This is d by dx of dy by dx as it is in terms of theta. So we write here d by d theta of dy by dx into d theta by dx. Okay. Now we put the values. D by d theta. Here we get minus 1 plus cos theta upon sin theta into d theta by dx. We have 1 upon minus a sin theta. Now this minus can be taken out to make it positive, and further the equation rule will be applied. So we go ahead, we get d by d theta of this by equation rule. We have 1 plus cos theta. 1 becomes 0, cos theta minus sin theta into denominator as it is minus numerator 1 plus cos theta as it is, and the differentiation of the denominator sin theta being cos theta upon square on the denominator. We get sin square theta, and here 1 upon a sin theta, as minus sign already has gone with the previous one. Okay. Now we simplify here. We get minus sin square theta minus cos theta minus cos square theta upon sin square theta into 1 upon a sin theta. Okay. As soon as we do, here I see that minus sign is common from these two terms, making it sin square theta plus cos square theta. By identity that turns to be 1. So minus 1 minus cos theta upon sin square theta into 1 upon a sin theta. And once again, I find here minus sign will be common. So we can write this as minus 1 upon a 1 plus cos theta upon sin cube theta. I have taken all the terms of theta together, clubbed them. Okay, so that I can put the value of theta as pi by 2 and get the simplest answer. Now this is the value of d square y by dx square. And one more thing to be noticed, this theta equal to pi by 2 should always be put after getting the final value of d square y by dx square, not in the beginning. That will be wrong. We put the value, we write here d square y by dx square for theta equal to pi by 2. Here we get minus 1 upon a 1 plus cos pi by 2 upon sin cube pi by 2. Cos pi by 2, as we know, it's a 0, sin pi by 2 is 1. So 1 plus 0 upon 1 will give you completely 1 into this constant. So finally we have got minus 1 upon a. So this way we get the required answer. I hope you have understood. We'll go to the next question now. Now here, in this fourth question, I have taken y is equal to sin inverse x upon root 1 minus x square. We need to show that 1 minus x square into y2, which is second order derivatives, minus 3x y1, first order derivative, minus y is 0. Here in this question, first of all, what generally a student will think, obviously a student will start to differentiate as it is. So we will see that one. What happens when we differentiate directly as it is? It's first, if I do differentiating with respect to x, I need a second order, so this will become y1, which is dy by dx. As I see, functions are available both in numerator and denominator, so equation rule will be applied. So first of all, numerator is a differentiation. It is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square into denominator as it is root 1 minus x square minus, when we go ahead, sin inverse x as it is the numerator, and now we need to differentiate the denominator, which is root 1 minus x square. So first of all, it comes as 1 upon twice the root 1 minus x square into Now we will differentiate by chain rule 1 minus x square. So 1 will turn 0, minus x square will be minus 2x. As I am doing directly because I think that by this module you must be perfect enough to differentiate it directly. Okay. If not, then by chain rule you can do it step by step. Like first one you do 1 by twice root 1 minus x square, then you can write d by dx of 1 minus x square. So you will find minus 2x. Next step. Okay. Here we go. Of the denominator, we have to make the square. So this will come 1 minus x square as square root is given. Here cancellation 2 and 2, and these two also cancel out. So we are left with dy by dx equal to, this becomes 1 plus x sin inverse x upon root 1 minus x square upon 1 minus x square here. Now we should utilize the given function as it is sin inverse x upon root 1 minus x square. Otherwise, if I am doing directly, I find that this has become complicated, more complicated. Reason, because first of all, quotient rule we need to apply. In numerator, 2 terms are there. It's 1 here. Second term, 3 functions are involved. Okay, so that's why wherever possible we should utilize the given condition. Y is given the value of this whole. So here we will put it like, we will write dy by dx. It becomes 1 plus x and y upon 1 minus x square. Okay. Now we need to differentiate. This is the value of y1. We need it till y2. So that's why we will differentiate. Further, what you can do, you can make it more convenient by taking this to the left hand side. If I shift, I see it is 1 minus x square. Yes, dy by dx you can write as y1 is equal to 1 plus xy. Now here it was the crowd of functions in quotient and product rule. Now we have reduced it, both sides balanced. Okay, differentiating after this step with respect to x. If I do, so first of all, if I differentiate y1, means dy by dx, so obviously this will turn 1 minus x square as it is. Product rule I am applying, don't forget, y1 will become y2 plus 1 minus x square is to be differentiated now. So this will become 0 minus 2x. y1 remains as it is, equal to, right hand side also, first term when differentiated will turn 0. X into y, here product rule will be applied. So this will become x into differentiation is 1. Y remains as it is, then x remains as it is, and y will become y1. Okay, now this way what we can do, we can simplify to 1 minus x square, y2, this turns minus 2x, y1 equal to, from this I find y plus x, y1. Now we simplified till the last step. Now after this I see that if I compare, here we have solved this equation in such a way that we are deducing from the differentiation only, means no need to put the value. Or you can put a value like only this one. You can 1 minus x square y2. You see this portion. If in LHS you put all the values, still you will get the answer. Or otherwise, if here only you shift all the terms left hand side, you find. If I shift all the terms, so 1 minus x square y2 as it is, minus 2x y1 as it is, both terms when come here, minus y minus x y1 equal to 0. You can see, simplify, we are having the required statement. We get 1 minus x square y2 minus 3x y1, solving these two, minus y equal to 0. So this way we get it directly. Okay. So this was a different one, including inverse trigonometric function. Okay. So we will see a few more examples to understand it better. Now, as next question, I have taken one parametric function here. Parameter is t. We are given the values of x and y as sin t is y, and the value of x is cos t plus log of tan t by 2. We need to find a value of d square y by dt square and d square y by dx square at t equal to pi by 2. It is different from the previous equations because here, okay, d square y by dx square we have obtained in one equation, but here we are given d square y by dt square also. How will we make it? First of all, we will find these two. Let's start. As differentiation is possible with respect to parameter, so we will differentiate 1 and 2 with respect to t. If I find from first dy by dt, I will do directly, sin t is given, so this will turn cos t. Now this one, x dx by dt, two terms are there. First term is cos t, its differentiation is minus sin t, plus when we do the second term, first function is log, it comes 1 upon tan t by 2 into, by chain rule, differentiation of tan t by 2, so this will turn sec square t by 2, and once again for t by 2 we have to differentiate, it becomes 1 by 2. We can simplify sec and tan in terms of sin and cos. I find this is minus sin t plus sec square will be 1 upon cos square, this is sin upon cos. Okay, so simplifying, we finally get 1 upon 2 sin t by 2 cos t by 2. Here we get this 2 I have utilized. Here I have written sec square as 1 upon cos square, this I have written as sin upon cos. So that's why after cancellation 1 cos t by 2 will come in multiplication with sin t by 2. And finally what we see, we are having minus sin t. Here the identity of 2 sin theta cos theta is applicable. So I see this will become 1 upon sin t. Okay. Further 1 upon sin t obviously will be written as cosec t. At this stage, let me tell you what is the meaning of d square y by dt square. D square y by dt square means you do the differentiation of y with respect to t second time. Means if I differentiate dy by dt here only, d square y by dt square, this will be d by dt, differentiation of dy by dt with respect to t itself. And as we know that dy by dt is given cos t, d by dt of cos t, so yes, we are differentiating with respect to parameter, this also is in terms of parameter, so here we can do it directly, its differentiation is minus sin t. So that is the meaning of d square y by dt square. Okay, be careful, but we need this at pi by 4, so we can write d square y by dt square at t equal to pi by 4, this is equal to minus sin pi by 4, so minus 1 by root 2. One answer we have obtained. For the other, still we need to wait, we need to first find dy by dx. Okay, dy by dx can be obtained as dy by dt divided by dx by dt. Now dy by dt we have cos t, in denominator dx by dt we have minus sin t plus cosec t. Now we find dy by dx in such a form, and I don't consider this is very much convenient. So if a simplification is possible, we should do that. Cosec is 1 upon sin. Okay, so if I do, I find that cos t minus sin t plus 1 upon sin t. If I take LCM, LCM will go in multiplication with cos t to make it sin t cos t. And in denominator I find minus sin square t plus 1. We know that 1 minus sin square t is cos square t. So we should use it. We will find here sin t into cos t upon cos square t. And as soon as I do, this cos t cancels the power we are having sin t by cos t, and finally the value of dy by dx can be written as tan t. Too much simplified, means we have got very convenient function tan t. Now we need d square y by dx square. So obviously we will follow the conventional ways of solving. D by dx of dy by dx. After this d by dt of dy by dx, and then dt by dx. Put in the values, I see d by dt or dy by dx we are having tan t, and dt by dx we have to go back. Dx by dt was this much. So put the value. It's 1 upon minus sin t plus cosec t. Okay. Now we have to differentiate tan t. It comes to be sec square t into 1 upon, we can write cosec t minus sin t. I recently said in one question, whenever there is the question to put the value t equal to pi by 4, do not wait for the simplest answer. Okay. Here we can directly put now, this is the value of d square y by dx square, we can put t equal to pi by 4. Therefore, d square y by dx square for t equal to pi by 4, we have sec square pi by 4. In denominator, we have cosec pi by 4 minus sin pi by 4. Sec pi by 4, its value is root 2 t square. Cosec pi by 4 also is root 2, and this one is 1 by root 2. Let's simplify. We get 2. This by LCM will become 2 minus 1, and LCM of root 2 will go up. So finally we have 2 root 2 as the value of d square y by dx square for t equal to pi by 4. Okay. And here the value of d square y by dt square for the same is minus 1 by root 2. So I hope this pattern of question you have understood, and this is just to be careful of. Okay, I hope you have understood. We'll take one more question to see that. Now as the last question of the module I have taken x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square equal to c square. If you remember, this is the equation of a circle with center a comma b and radius c. Okay, where c is greater or equal to 0, obviously it's a length being given as positive value. Prove that 1 plus d by dx whole square raised to the power 3 by 2 divided by d square y by dx square is a constant. I find here basically I need one time and two time. Two time differentiation is needed. We will utilize the value from the given equation. Let's see. If you think about the function, this is a pattern of implicit function. Okay, so let's do it. Differentiating with respect to x. If I do in first term, that will become d by dx of x minus a whole square plus d by dx of y minus b whole square, d by dx of c square. Here first of all power should be solved. 2x minus a, then comes the term of the base. Base is x minus a, this will turn 1. Differentiation of x is 1 but a is 0. So 1 minus 0 will give you 1 only. Here same 2y minus b, but y minus b by differentiated we have dy by dx minus 0, so remaining dy by dx itself. C square, as we are given a value positive, a constant, will turn 0. Constant, we can conclude one more thing, the radius of the given circle is a fixed length constant, that's why it is 0. Differentiation will turn 0. 2 taken out as common, we are having x minus a plus y minus b dy by dx equal to 0, and finally the value of dy by dx by shifting we can get minus x upon x minus a upon y minus b. This way we can do. We will not forget, we need there the values of dy by dx and d square y by dx also. Okay. To differentiate further, obviously we have to apply here quotient rule, that both of them are functions of x, we go ahead. Differentiating with respect to x, I find this is d square y by dx square minus remains as it is. First of all, we operate the numerator x minus a. Recently we could see it's 1, y minus b as it is, minus x minus a numerator as it is, and the differentiation of y minus b becomes dy by dx, and in denominator square on y minus b. To simplify this one, we need to put the value of dy by dx which we have obtained in second equation. So while putting, we have y minus b minus x minus a, and here we can write minus of x minus a upon y minus b, and in denominator y minus b whole square. I see minus to minus multiplication will make it plus, x minus a and this bracket same, this will make it the square of x minus a, and y minus b being LCM will be multiplied to this one to make its square, and finally this LCM taken of y minus b will come down. If I do this directly, I will find d square y by dx square as minus y minus b whole square plus x minus a whole square upon y minus b whole cube, as earlier we were having a square on it. Okay. Further, what we can do, this value we are given x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to c square. So we should use it, writing it as c square y minus b whole cube, giving it 3. You can note from 1 we have taken this value for further assistance. Okay, so d square y by dx square, this much we have obtained. Now we need this one expression. So before we put, we will find it out. dy by dx whole square is needed. So we can put from 2 squaring. If I square both sides of equation number 2, we find that dy by dx whole square, this is minus sign will be removed. We are having x minus a whole square, y minus b whole square. Now further we are told that we need to add 1. So we will write here 1 plus dy by dx whole square. We get 1 plus x minus a whole square upon y minus b whole square. And once again the same thing, LCM will be taken to simplify. We have minus y minus b whole square plus x minus a whole square, in denominator y minus b whole square. Without delay I will say we are having again the numerator equal to c square. So use it. 1 plus dy by dx whole square is c square upon y minus b whole square. One more step to get the numerator required. We need to take this 3 by 2 as power of it. Here only we should write. Therefore 1 plus dy by dx whole square raised to the power 3 by 2 can be written as 3 by 2 power of the right hand side also. C square y minus b whole square raised to the power 3 by 2. Now obviously 3 by 2 when separated in numerator and denominator, these both powers of 2 will be cancelled out, and finally we have c cube divided by y minus b cube. Now this becomes convenient for us. The only thing we need to do, we need to get the answer for this expression. We have obtained numerator separately, denominator separately. Divide 4 by 3. Divide 4 by 3. We get 1 plus dy by dx whole square raised to the power 3 by 2 divided by d square y by dx square as, when I divide I see it is a c cube by y minus b whole cube upon minus c square on y minus b whole cube. These two cancel out. C square to cube cancelled out, and finally we have minus C. It was told to us to prove it's a constant, and yes, there is no term of x or y, so obviously this whole expression becomes a constant. So this was completely different from previous examples, but every time you can see we have to be careful whenever it is parametric function. This is one thing, and whatever is required, accordingly you differentiate the given function. This much you have to be careful of. Otherwise, I hope this higher order derivative is clear to you, and this much is enough. Thank you. That's all.